Good morning, grade 10 students. So sorry for not attending our class today since I have my in-service training for 1 week. But however, I will be leaving you this video lesson so that you will be able to know or understand our second module for second quarter, which is all about remainder and factor theorem. So I hope you will find this video lesson as informative as possible. So this time, we will begin with a short recap of our discussion last meeting. So I will be giving you several problems about the division of polynomials, and later on, we will be connecting that one to our discussion for today. Okay? Okay, so suppose this time I will be giving you an example to divide using both long division and synthetic division. Okay, so let me share my content. Okay, for example, I have here x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 2 divided by x minus 2. So for this type, I would like you to solve this one on your notebook using long division and synthetic division. I would like you to pause first this video and please resume once you're done answering. Okay, so once you're done answering, we can solve this one using long division. So, yung laman ng ating radicand ngayon, so you have, or ng ating division sign rather, you have x cubed plus 3x squared, okay, plus 4x plus 2. So take note, this time naka-arrange na siya in descending order. Pero if hindi pa siya naka-arrange or may missing terms, you need to first insert the missing terms para makapag-divide ka. So yung nasa labas ng aking division sign is x minus 2. So first step for our division, we will be dividing the first term of our dividend with the first term of our divisor. So x cubed divided by x, that results to x squared. Then the next step, we will be multiplying the quotient to the whole divisor. That becomes x cubed. Then x squared times negative 2, that becomes negative 2x squared. So the next operation now will be subtraction. So 1 minus 1, that becomes 0. Then 3 minus negative 2, that becomes positive 5x squared. Then we will bring down 4x. So 5x squared divided by x, that results to 5x. 5x times x, that is 5x squared. 5x times negative 2, that becomes negative 10x. Then we'll proceed with subtraction. 5 minus 5, you have 0. Then 4 minus negative 10, that becomes 14x. Then we will be bringing down positive 2. 14x divided by x, that is positive 14x. Positive 14. Then 14 times x, so you have 14x. Then 14 times negative 2, that becomes negative 28. So if we will be subtracting this one, so 14 minus 14, the result will be 0. And 2 minus negative 28, the result is 30. So therefore, our remainder is equal to 30. So pwede ko siyang isulat ngayon dito. Since positive siya, so that is plus a 30. Then our denominator will be x minus 2, which is actually our divisor. So this time, we can also solve this one using synthetic division. So kapag synthetic division, yung kailangan lang natin ay yung coefficient ng ating dividend, then we will be equating our divisor to 0. So first, I will list down first the coefficient of our dividend. So for x cubed, yung kanyang coefficient ay 1. Next, you have 3. You have 4, and you have positive 2. So if I will be equating our dividend or our divisor to 0, so that is x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to 2. So ibig sabihin, yung laman ng ating box sa gilid is 2. So first step, we bring down 1. Yung first number, we always bring that one down. Then 1 times 2. Okay, the answer is equal to 2. You add 3 plus 2. You have 5. You multiply again to the number inside the box. That becomes positive 10. So 4 plus 10, that is 14. 14 times 2, that is equal to 28. Then 2 plus 28, that is equal to 30. So ngayon, since our dividend, yung pinakamalaking exponent niya ay 3, then yung aking divisor is 1. So we'll subtract 3 minus 1. So therefore, yung pinakamalaking exponent for our answer should have an exponent of 2. So ibig sabihin, ito nga yun yung magiging coefficient ng x squared. So 1x squared or simply x squared, so plus 5x plus 14. Then remember that the last number here gives us the remainder. So since 30 siya, so that becomes okay, 30. Then we copy our divisor, which is x minus 2. So therefore, if you compare, we have the same answer kung long method at saka synthetic method yung ating gamitin. Pero pagdating ng mastery test natin, so it will depend on the instruction on the examination. So sometimes I will be asking you to use long method, or probably I will be asking you sometimes to use synthetic division. So I hope that's clear already. So this time, for our lesson for today, I would like you to direct your attention to this number over here, which is known as the remainder. So yung remainder, siya ngayon yung resulta, yung pinakadulo, yung hindi na ma-divide. Siya yung parang leftover sa ating division process. However, para makuha natin yung remainder, di ba nakasanayan natin na kailangan muna nating isolve or magamit ng long division or synthetic division so that we can solve for the remainder. So for today, we will be discussing one method kung saan we can determine the remainder of a division problem without actually dividing. So pwede nating malaman ngayon yung remainder kapag i-divide yung dalawang quantities without actually dividing. So that will be our topic for today, which is all about the remainder theorem. Okay, so for our topic today, we have the remainder and the factor theorem. So for our learning objectives, we have two. So the first one, we will be proving and applying the remainder and factor theorems, and we will be factoring polynomials. But the factoring polynomials will be left for our discussion tomorrow. When we say remainder theorem, so if a polynomial p of x is divided by a binomial x minus c, then the remainder is equal to p of c. So ibig sabihin daw, for us to know if what will be the remainder when we divide a polynomial by a binomial in the form x minus c, we will just substitute the value of c to our polynomial p of x. So if you want to learn the proof or the origin of our remainder theorem, the proof is actually presented on your learning module. So I hope you can see that one on your learning module once we're done already with this video lesson. So basically, previously, we can just find the remainder when we use long division or conveniently using synthetic division. But now we have another method, and that is by using our remainder theorem. So ito yung sinasabi dito na calculate P of C. So we will just get the value of C and we will be substituting that one to the value of X on the P of X. So para mas maintindihan natin, we will be applying that one. So first example, okay, find the remainder when the given P of X is equal to 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 3x plus 4 is divided by x plus 1. So this time, I would like you to pause this video and try to solve it on your own. And once you're done, please click the resume button or the play button. Okay, so this time we have the value of p of x is equal to 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 3x plus 4. Then the x minus c is in the form x plus 1. So before we can use our remainder theorem, we need first to express this one in the form x minus c so that we can find the value of c. So remember, since this is positive, and we all know that negative times negative is equal to positive, so itong x plus 1 ngayon, we can actually rewrite this one to x minus negative 1. Diba? X minus negative 1. Since negative times negative, the result is positive. So ngayon, it's in the form already of x minus c. And the value of c is actually equal to negative 1. Okay, for us to solve this, sabi sa ating remainder theorem, we will just substitute the value of c to our equation. So instead of p of x, I can have here p of negative 1. Then all the value of x here will be substituted by negative 1. So that becomes 2 times negative 1 cubed, okay, minus 7 times negative 1 squared, okay, plus 3 times negative 1, okay, plus 4. So negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, 1 times 2, result is negative 2. Negative times negative 1 is positive. We multiplied it to negative 7, so the result is negative 7. Okay, 3 times negative 1, the result is negative 3. And you just copy the plus 4. Then you simplify. Negative 2 minus 7, that is negative 9, minus 3, you have negative 12, plus 4, you have 8. So since p of negative 1 is equal to negative 8, so therefore we can say that the remainder, okay, is negative 8. So ibig sabihin, if you divide 2x cubed, 7x squared plus 3x plus 4 by x plus 1, okay, the remainder is negative 8. So let's try to confirm. Let's try to verify. So if I will be using synthetic division, I will copy the coefficient. You have 2, okay, negative 7, okay, 3, 4. Okay, then I will use the same value of c, which is negative 1. So that is 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Then negative 7 times negative 2, negative 7 plus negative 2 is negative 9. Then negative, negative, it will become positive. 3 plus 9 is 12. 12 times negative 1 is negative 12. And 4 times negative 12, that is actually equal to negative 8. Remember that the last number here in the synthetic division gives us the remainder. Okay, so therefore, our remainder theorem is actually correct. It gives us of our remainder, which is negative 8. Okay, so this time we'll proceed with our second example. So you have find the remainder when the given p of x is equal to 3x cubed is divide at 3x cubed plus x squared minus 12x minus 4 is divided by x minus 2. So this time, I would like you to pause for a while and click the play button once you're done solving to confirm whether your answers are correct. Okay, so for number 2, you have 3x cubed plus x squared minus 12x minus 4, then what will be the remainder when you divide that one by x minus 2? Okay, so this time, we will express again x in the form x minus c. So if you notice, this is already in the form x minus c. So therefore, we can say that 2 here is actually the value of our c. Okay, kasi x minus c. So wag yung negative dyan as function ng c. So yung ating c is just only 2. So to find the remainder using the remainder theorem, we will be substituting 2 in the place of x. So that is, okay, p of 2 is equal to 3, okay, times 2 cubed plus, okay, 2 squared minus 12 times 2 minus 4. So when we simplify, okay, 2 times 2 times 2, that is equal to 8. And 8 times 3, that is equal to 24. Next, if I have 2 squared, that is equal to positive 4. You have negative 12 times 2, that results to negative 24. And minus 4, kasi copy lang natin. Plus to 4 is 0. So wala nang maiwan sa ating solusyon. So, therefore, sagot natin dito ay 0. So, therefore, the remainder is 0. Understood? Okay, so this time, anong nangyayari if yung remainder ay 0? So, i-explain natin. For example, I will be using a particular number. So, for example, I have here 44, okay, divided by 2. So if I divide 44 by 2 using long division, diba, if I have 4 divided by 2, so 2, 2 times 2, 4. If you subtract 0, 4. Okay, 2, 2 times 2, 4. 4 minus 4, 0. So, it's understood na if yung remainder daw ay 0, ibig sabihin, yung number na gidivide mo is a factor of this one. So we can say that since the remainder is 0, we can say that 2 is actually a factor of 44. The same is true, for example, I have 12. If I will divide 12 by 4, diba the result is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 minus 12, 0. So since the remainder is 0, we can say that 4 is actually a factor of 12. Okay, suppose we have 12, but we divide 12 by 5. Diba? 12 divided by 5, I have 2. 2 times 5, that is 10. Bring down 2, I will add decimal point. So 20 divided by 5, that is equal to 4. So 4 times 5, sorry, hindi pala tayo allowed magdagdag. I will repeat. So if I have 12 divided by 5, diba that is equal to 2. 2 times 5, we have 10. So 12 minus 10, we have a remainder of 2. So since meron tayong remainder na 2, ibig sabihin 5 is not a factor of 12. So yun yung tatandaan natin. If the remainder is 0, it means that the divisor is a factor of the dividend. Klaro yun? So this time, ibig sabihin, if we use that one in the context of polynomials, ibig sabihin, itong x minus 2 natin dito is actually a factor of p of x. Kaya yung remainder natin ay naging 0. So that leads us to our next theorem, which is actually an extension of the remainder theorem. We call that one as the factor theorem. Okay, so for our factor theorem, it reads, if p of c is equal to 0, then x minus c is a factor of the polynomial p of x. So conversely, if x minus c is a factor of p of x, then p of c is equal to 0. So basically, the process of solving for the remainder and the factor theorem are just the same. So titignan lang natin, automatically, if the remainder becomes 0, then we can say that the binomial x minus c is a factor of the polynomial p of x. Okay, so this time we'll proceed with our first example. So determine whether x plus 1 is a factor of p of x is equal to 2x cubed minus 7x squared ay minus 5x plus 4. So I would like you to try first the same method pa rin when we solve our remainder theorem. So you can pause the video for a moment and try to solve it on. Okay, so once again, we have this given. So ang gagawin muna natin, we will express this one as the form x minus c. So x plus 1 ngayon magiging, so x minus negative 1, x minus c. So therefore, yung negative 1 natin, that becomes the value of our c. So we will be substituting that one here. So you have p of negative 1. So that is, okay, 2 times negative 1 cubed minus 7 times negative 1 squared minus 5 times negative 1, okay, plus 4. So let's try to simplify. Negative 1 cubed is just negative 1 times 2, so you have negative 2. Then negative 1 squared is 1, positive 1, minus 7, you have negative 7. Negative 5 times negative 1, that is actually positive 5. Then I have here positive 4. So negative 2 minus 7, you have negative 9. Plus 5, you have negative 4. Plus 4, okay, the result is equal to 0. So therefore, using the remainder theorem, the remainder is actually 0. So by factor theorem, since the remainder is 0, so therefore we can say that x plus 1 is a factor, okay, is a factor of p of x, which is equal to 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 5x plus 4. Okay, so this time we'll proceed with our last example. Okay, so for our last example, okay, we will be determining whether x minus 1 is a factor of p of x is equal to x cubed plus x squared. So again, please pause this video for a moment and try to solve it on your own. Then once you're done, please click play to know whether your answers are correct. Okay, so I'm ready in your mind. I here, 1 is actually the value of c. So I will try now to substitute here 1. Okay, that equal to 1 cubed plus 1 squared. So we have, that is actually just equal to 1, okay, plus 1, okay, which is equal to positive 2. So therefore, p of 1 is equal to 2. By applying the remainder theorem, it means that the remainder, when I divide x cubed plus x squared by x minus 1, the remainder is equal to 2. By applying the factor theorem, since this is not equal to 0, so we can conclude that x minus 1 is not a factor of our p of x. Okay, so I hope you've learned something for today. So after watching this video lesson, I hope you will be trying to answer now the activities that is found on your learning module. Please try to answer activities 3 and 4 since I only required you to answer activity 1 and 2 for your weekly submission. Again, for tomorrow, we will be having another video lesson, but this time that will be about factoring polynomials. We will be applying the concept of factor, remainder, at the same time the synthetic division for us to factor polynomials. So I would like you to study in advance on your module number 2. And please be reminded that next week will be the schedule of our second mastery test. So I hope that you will be preparing that one, and I hope that there will be no cheating issues again for the next examination. So I think that would be all for today. Have a nice day and see you soon. Have a great day.